Hey guys, hope you all are doing great. I'm your trainer Arun Chauhan and I will not be wasting any time. I'll directly get onto the topic of the video today. The video today is about the IELTS speaking syllabus for 2024. So in the upcoming next 11-12 minutes, I have broken down the complete curriculum for the IELTS speaking module, the different parts and the type of questions you'll be getting in it. So if anyone is having any kind of query, please feel free to write me down at ieltswitharun@gmail.com, or you can write down in the comment section and I'll be glad to help you assist you in any manner I can. If anyone is having any suggestion, I'm open to it. Please feel free to write down, and please let's just go ahead and watch this video completely. Please make sure you stay till the last of the video so that you get every important information related to this video, and make sure to watch our other videos as well. You can go to my channel IELTS with Arun over here in different playlists and you can check the relevant information. Let's go to the video. Thank you. IELTS 2024 syllabus. As we all know that IELTS exam is having two different parts. One is IELTS academic and the other is IELTS general. Now what is the difference? IELTS academic is given by the students who are planning to pursue their higher education in English speaking countries like Canada, Australia, USA, UK, New Zealand and many more. It is a requirement to clear this examination with the required bands in order to pursue your higher education in such countries. On the other hand, IELTS General is given by those people who are seeking a permanent residency in other countries like Canada, and IELTS General is also given by students who are planning to appear on the work permit or appear for the work permit. So now let's delve ahead and see what is the syllabus for IELTS academic and IELTS general. In this video I'll be only covering IELTS academic. So let's begin. In IELTS academic you will be having 4 different modules, that is your listening, reading, writing and speaking. When you go for the IELTS examination, you will have to appear for 3 parts in one examination, and the one module that is speaking, it will happen altogether differently. So when you go for the examination, you will have to complete listening, reading and writing in the stipulated time, and for the speaking it will be entirely different. So first I will start with the IELTS speaking module. So when you talk about IELTS speaking, what happens in IELTS speaking exam, it lasts for around 15 to 20 minutes ideally for every candidate, and it can happen few days before your written examination. I mean the day where you will be appearing for your listening, writing and reading, or it can also happen after this examination. It can be 2-3 days before, 2-3 days later, or 1 week before, 1 week later. People who are applying for the examination often get a chance to book an IELTS speaking date for themselves along with the given time slot. Some people, they don't receive this opportunity. So people who are not able to book their IELTS speaking module on the given date, so the examination department chooses the date for them and it is informed to you via email. So now let's see what is IELTS speaking. So when you talk about IELTS speaking exam, there are 3 different parts. So basically what happens in IELTS speaking, you go to the IELTS center, which you will be getting in your email. You go over there, you wait, you do all the formalities, then you are taken into a room by the person who's there to help you. Then the IELTS invigilator, he comes out, he takes you into the room. Now post COVID, what has started happening, there's a high possibility you might even face an IELTS speaking test via video conferencing, but that does not mean that you can give the IELTS exam from your home. You will have to walk to the test center itself. So you will be in the room. There might be possible that the person would take your IELTS speaking test via video conferencing through a laptop, or it's quite possible that he might be there physically present. So he might start you asking questions. Now when the first moment you meet, you greet the examination person, he takes you inside and you start talking. So when this conversation is happening, you are not going to be judged on this conversation. These are the basic questions the examiner asks, like how are you doing, how did you come, and are you ready for the exam. The only IELTS exam will start when the examiner says you, okay, fine, now we are going to start the IELTS speaking examination. He switches on his camcorder and then he starts. Please note down, this is the important part, that your IELTS speaking will be recorded via a camcorder. Everything that you say will be recorded. Now what happens in the first part? When you talk about the first part, in the first part you'll be asked general questions. Now the examiner will ask you general questions on familiar topics. Example, he will ask you questions about your home, about your family, about your work, studies and interest. This section could help you relax and talk naturally. As you can easily see, these are the questions which are directly related to you. You don't need to make up answers for these because these are things related to you directly. For example, if the examiner asks you, tell me about your home and tell me about your house, which part of your house you like the most, which part of your house you think you can improvise, or or given a chance to make some changes, what part of your house will you like to change? So these are natural questions. Same is the question with your family. Tell me how many people are there in your family, what do they do, or questions related to your work, your workplace, your colleagues, or in case you are a student, he might ask you what was your favorite subject at the school, which teacher you like the most, and about your interest, which means about your hobbies. As you can easily see, these are the questions that will definitely relax you out because these are the questions about yourself. So once this part is done, the part 1 ideally is going to last for around say like 5 to 7 minutes and you'll be asked question. Please keep in mind, when you're giving this answers to this question, this answers has to be given in maximum 2 to 3 sentences. Please don't use paragraphs while answering these questions. Use just 2-3 sentences at the max, not above or below that. Now, once you're done with the part 1 questions, you will be shifting to part 2. Now, part 2 is basically a cue card. Now, before I get to cue card, please do understand that what happens is between part 1 and part 2, there are some different kind of questions the examiner can ask you. He can be like, okay, fine, let's talk about a different topic or an abstract topic. Like, what do you think about handicrafts? So he might start asking a question about handicrafts, altogether different about weather. So please be prepared for such kind of category of questions as well. Now coming to part 2. Part 2, as I said, is the cue card question. Now the cue card question is really very important for your examination. Just a second, there's some trouble. Yes. So what happens in a cue card? The examiner will give you a task card which asks you to talk about a particular topic, including points to include in your talk. You will be given 1 minute to prepare and make notes. You will then be asked to talk for 1 to 2 minutes on the topic. You will not be interrupted during this time, so it is important to keep talking. So now people understand what happens in a cue card is the examiner is going to tell you, okay, fine, now we are moving to the cue card. In the cue card section, the examiner hands you a sheet or a small sheet in which a question is written based by some follow-up questions. And then he's going to give you a time. Okay, fine, I'm giving you 2 minutes time. And then he also hands you over a pen and a plain sheet and he says that you can make your rough points which you can use while giving your answer. Now in this 1 to 2 minute time, you're supposed to do the rough work on the plain sheet of paper. You can make your points right about the cue card given to you. You have to organize that, and when the examiner says you that you can start, you have to understand that you have to start with your answer and try to speak as much as possible. Since you have a 2 minute time window, please try to speak at least for the 2 minutes. It is quite certain that the examiner might stop you before the 2 minute window, so you need not worry about that. If the examiner stops you before the 2 minute window, it's totally fine, it's perfectly fine. The examiner might be checking how you respond to such situations as well, because you need to understand in the IELTS speaking test, it is not something we are judging on the complexity of the conversation part. We are just trying to understand how easily you are able to communicate your ideas, how easily you are able to understand the other person. So that is what all about part 2. Now if you want, I can give you an example of cue card over here. For example, you can get a question about your best friend, like the one which you can see over the screen right now. So this is a kind of cue card that the examiner is going to give you, and then he's going to give you 1 to 2 minute window, and in which that time you have to prepare your answer. When the examiner asks you to say the answer, then you can. Please understand, if you go to my channel, the very first video of my channel is how to prepare your cue card in 1 minute. I'm also going to put the link for that video in the description. That video is really very helpful for those people who really find it difficult to make content for the cue card. You can watch that video. That video is really very helpful. Now once you are done with the cue card, let's move to the next part. The next part is your part 3. Now in what happens in part 3, it's the follow-up questions. The examiner will ask you further questions which are connected to the topic of part 2, which means the cue card. These questions are designed to give you an opportunity to discuss more abstract issues and ideas. Like I said, in that part 2 is your cue card, and like I give you an example, like talk about your best friend, and there are sub question, there are sub parts of the question. Once you give your answer, the examiner is going to ask questions on the basis of the answer which you gave for the cue card. So again, these answers are going to be very easy because they are going to be based on the answer that you gave. So you need not worry, you just need to stay calm, relaxed and focused. So when the examiner asks the question, you can give the answer. Please understand, in the follow-up questions as well, you can give the answer in 2-3 sentences at the max. Do not go for lengthy answers, and please avoid your one-word answers. Never give a one-word answer. Always put your answer in the form of sentences. That is the reason I'm again and again saying, do not go beyond 2-3 sentences. They are more than enough. Only for the cue card part, you can have a paragraph based answer because you have been provided a question and sub parts, so the answer automatically becomes lengthy. Only for that part, you have to answer in a paragraph manner, and you have around 2 minutes. It means lots of sentences you can say. But apart from that, every other question that is asked to you by the examiner, you will give only 2-3 minutes to that. So friends, this is all about your speaking module, in which you have part 1, part 2, part 3. Now few tips which I would like to give you about speaking session. You can go to my channel, you can go for the speaking playlist, and you'll find tips and tricks which I have given for the speaking module. As I've also mentioned the very first video, the link which I'm mentioning in the description, how to make content for the cue card, do watch that video because that will give you insight into the world of cue card, how you can make content, the very easy trick to make content for any kind of given cue card possible. So this is all about the speaking module. Next we are shifting to the other module, and if you want to ask any question about the speaking module, please feel free to write me down in the comment section. You can ask me that question, I'll try my best to give you the answer. And if you have any suggestion, please feel free to do the same. You can write me at my email address, and that is ieltswitharun@gmail.com. You can also put it in the comment section. And anyone who is looking forward to get a PDF of the speaking cue cards, I'll be more than happy. You can just write in the comment section and I'll get back to you with the same. Alright, let's move to the next module for the IELTS syllabus of 2024.